Hello everyone, welcome to the second league match for season 19 of the Dominion League here. So this game is entitled the Black Market Drinking Game. So whenever one of us plays Black Market, you have to take a drink. Alternatively, you could just pause the video and see what is actually the best Black Market choice for each of our decks. That's a very good exercise in, well, how to play with Black Market really. So why Black Market is important on this board? Well, aside from being Black Market and picking up powerful cards that only you have access to. There's also museum, so anything you pick up from the black market is worth an additional 2 points, right? Museum is like a small fairground, so it rewards you for having variety in your deck. Now, the board actually has a lot of things that would support an engine. There's plus buy, charm is there, farmer's market is there. There's trashing in temple, which I'm going to open with here. And there's a village in border village. What is missing, there's also some attacks to slow down your opponent. Pillage, coppice, brigand. So I don't think our money strategy can prosper. So as I was saying, what is missing is the draw. And I think that's what you go in the black market to look for, the draw. And my opponent rips a courtyard out on his first play, which is, I think, very good for him. I mean, courtyard doesn't draw that many cards, but as you get thinner with temple, it'll start to become increasingly more valuable, and this is what you want from the black market, right? Draw. There's no draw on the board, so I think the right choice for my opponent here is the courtyard. He does take the courtyard, and to move on, so we both open with temple and black market, both valuing thinning, of course, and both looking for points and draw and any other goodies from the black market. I'm gonna pick up a silver here because there's border village around, so I want to have enough money to buy those at some point. So my black market here turns up these 3 cards. If I had 6, I would have gladly picked up on nobles instead of a border village here because, like I said, draw is the key, right? The border villages are not going to run anytime soon, and in any case there might be villages in the black market as well, so nothing to be worried about in terms of losing, not having enough actions to do things. So 5, it could be a charm. I considered mint at some point too here in the early game, looking for a mint to help trash. Maybe picking up a mint here isn't crazy because I have the temple as well, but 3 copper seemed underwhelming, and the highway is actually decently helpful to get up to 6 for border village. My opponent picks up their first border village here and is going to take a charm with it, I believe. Obviously you do want at least the 1 charm. It's 2 points, right? And worst comes to worst, is a silver with a buy on it. That's okay. We have a name for that. That's woodcutter, right? Except this isn't terminal, so. Also, the gain ability of charm might be useful in the end if you're looking to pick up points. So you could go and say, okay, I want to gain 2 5s and gain duchy mint, and that would be potentially 4 extra points. So my temple misses the shuffle, but I think so does his. It is able to trash 2 cards here, which is all you could really ask for from the temple. That it trash 2 cards every time you play it. And I'm going to pick up another silver here. So I have, what, 2 silvers? Which is a lot, plus the black market. But I think 3 is a decent number to be at in order to buy water villages. However, I do pick up another charm. So I have a bit more treasure than I would like. Well, why do I say I would like? Because at this point I was envisioning a more classical style engine for what I want my deck to look like. I wanted it to look like, border village, draw some cards, draw the whole deck, and then play black market or something. Anyways, let's talk about this decision point here. So really, it's between governor and mountebank, right? I choose governor because draw, like I said, I was envisioning this draw your whole deck type engine, which may not be correct. So I go for the governor. Another reason for not selecting mountebank is that I figure that my opponent would actually be able to get his deck under control, and then he would be able to trash the copper and the curse with the temple very, very easily. Looking back on the game, I don't think that's true at all. he really just has right now the one courtyard for draw, and I believe that mountebank would have caused him a lot of headache. But I didn't go for it. I went for the governor. I mean, governor isn't bad. No way is governor bad, but it doesn't do what mountebank does. And I think if I had picked out that mountebank there, things would have been fairly different. So we both now have a second black market, and my opponent turns up a stables out of their black market. So really now, well, not really now, but I'm hoping that my opponent doesn't see draw cards out of the black market. And one like stables is just tremendous for him, right? It doesn't need actions to play, and it'll get him a couple cards, right? It is effectively a lab. So I believe 100% again, still you need draw here, because right now he only has the courtyard. I just have the governor for draw, which is like a smithy, and now he has the stable. So that's like +4 he can draw, and I can draw +3 if I want to use my governor for draw. If I don't have to, of course. So he does pick up these stables, which is I think very good for him. And I believe also he's been able to play his temple. Well, we've played our temple the same number of times now, but he has managed to get one more card out of his deck. He's a little bit ahead on trashing, little bit ahead on draw. I'm gonna pick up our temple here with this border village. I don't really know why there was 4 points. The points didn't really entice me. So much so as wanting to trash a little bit quicker. I mean, I could take the 4 points away from him, but that really is not a big deal, especially in this type of game where you could get 4 points just from buying 2 things off the black market, you know? It's not a big deal. I'm not really sure what I should have picked up there alongside the border village. Perhaps farmer's market, perhaps pillage, as my opponent goes for here. Pillage is going to be something to reckon with, because it could wreck your turn. Here I see, so this is a hand I would love to see my temple on. Last time I just got rid of a copper. Here I would have much rather one of these black markets be a temple. Yeah, unfortunately no such luck. So here another choice for me, right? Counterfeit or Oracle. I go for the Oracle because it's draw. Again, envisioning this classical engine type deck here. Counterfeit wouldn't have been bad either. Maybe even better, just to help with the trashing, honestly. But yeah, I was kind of draw hungry at this point, and the walled village just for, you know, stability. And 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. I'm paying $4 for 2 points. That's good, and it's a village. It helps the tech grow. That's real good. So I think I use the governor for draw there, and I do use the governor for draw for the majority of this game because I don't have draw, and I wanted draw, but really, I mean, that probably wasn't realistic of me to expect the deck to function like a draw your deck type engine. Instead, what I was probably more realistic and something that I should have been going for. So this is excellent for my opponent. He pulls up Horn and Villa. That's incredible. That's incredible. And he has the pillage in his hand probably here, right? But it seemed like he gave up his pillage play to play black market. Well, you know what? Villa is going to give him the opportunity to play that pillage right now, which is not so hot for me. I'd have liked to play this black market and trash some with this temple. And I expect him to just take the walled village out of my hand. Instead, he actually takes the black market out of my hand. I was surprised by that. Surprised he took the black market out of my hand. Because it does, you know, give me some opportunity to draw into a good card here and then have, you know, a decentish turn. Like I could draw the other black market here, then, you know, not much has been done really. So I'm not going to draw the black market here, just going to draw a copper, which I will trash with the temple. I have to keep trashing, My opponent is a little bit ahead, but I have to keep trashing, right, to try to catch up. So this is a much better hand for me, but my opponent is going to kick off again here, seeing his courtyard with his border village. He has a couple charms now, which is nice, and his black markets keep turning up nice things. Like Market is definitely nice here, uh, and I can't knock the replace either, right? You could replace border villages into provinces. I mean, the harem, maybe not right now, although it is worth 4 points, but I think we have enough treasure on our deck at the moment. Right, so, as I was saying before, the draw deck engine, that simply isn't realistic. I should have played this more slug-like, which means I should have put more money into my deck, I believe. So I shouldn't be expecting my deck or searching for the deck that draws itself. Instead, I should just be content to have some mix of villages, terminals, and hope things work out nicely. Hope you draw your villages with your terminals. Most likely your terminal yeah, the terminal you would like to play is Black Market. If you do get some draw cards, well, that's good for you, but if you don't, oh well. Right, so again, using the governor for draw, and I don't like using the governor for draw because it can help my opponent out of a bad turn, because our decks aren't, that thin yet. All we have is one courtyard, one stables on one side, and now a governor and an oracle on my side. So and I'm gonna take this Avanto here for the draw. I have to take it strictly for the draw, which is a little bit strange. Usually you see it with Sona, and then it becomes like incredible, but now it's rarely just a smithy. You're paying $5 for a smithy, and 2 points. And 2 points. Can't forget the 2 points. Cannot forget the 2 points. So picking up the Avanto there and trashing with the Temple. This was a bit of a misclick, and my opponent allowed me to undo. We agreed to be fairly liberal with the undos, once it's reasonable. Here I wanted to trash the copper, but I got the interface wrong for Temple. Trash the copper alongside the estate is what I mean. And here I still have enough money to buy something, but do I really want to buy something? I don't know that I want to buy anything. Like, I have more than enough money. I still end up going for silver. So again, this is coming from a place of wanting to build the deck engine, right? If it was more for the, museum slug, just pulling things from the black market and getting points that way, then yeah, picking up the silver is easy. I just pick up the silver and go. Look at this, my opponent pulls hunting grounds out of the black market. So I thought I was creeping ahead on the draw front because I had the Avanto, which is +3, Governor +3, and Courtyard +2. So I was like, not Courtyard, Oracle, which is +8 cards. But my opponent now, he had the stables and the Courtyard from before, which is +4, and now he's gonna get +4. So we are again equal on the amount of draw my opponent has. He gets to play black market twice here. He does take the hunting grounds. You have to be crazy not to take hunting grounds there. And he's going to take our workers village as well. So look at that, just like that he netted 4 points, and he put our workers village and a hunting grounds into his deck alongside now border village and something. Pillage here looks very nice for him. He's still a little bit thinner than I am because his temples have shown up with different cards. So he was able to trash twice when I was only able to trash once. So I think he's going to take the pillage here. So I should mention one thing. The length of this game, which I have for the recording, is 1 hour and 43 minutes. That is tremendously long. Some people finish their league matches in that time. We didn't finish a game in that time. So I had to speed up a lot of this video. To try to condense it as best as possible. There's no way I feel like people would listen to me talk for an hour and a half. I could barely listen to people talk for an hour and a half, and I shouldn't expect that of anyone. But the game takes long because none of us really want to go for provinces because it'll clog our deck, right? And in the meantime, if one person is going for provinces and the other person just sticks to, picking up black market opportunistically and then like chipping out the provinces, I mean, if you play black market twice, that's 4 points on a turn, and you could potentially get something real good out of the black market. Mountebank is there. We can come back around to Mountebank, start junking, and then if you have provinces in your deck, it's going to get very ugly very fast. So that is why we're playing the way we are playing. Not really going for provinces, but just looking to build as much as possible. But as much as possible. Here I pick up I buy a mission here really just to attack my opponent, and you know what? It actually paid off, so I was happy. I bought the mission to try to attack my opponent. I can't buy any cards here, but I was able to gain a couple spoils and kill my opponent's turn. So that's good. Yeah, so I figured if you're just going for provinces, I could still get 4 points a turn, and then, you know, continuously build up my deck to a point. Okay, I could buy 2 things from the black market and start buying provinces, and then, well, you're just behind at that point. The strict province player. So, I mean, and like I said at the beginning, I don't think money works, right? There's a lot of things hurting money here. Brigand, pillage, cut purse. Right, so it's another interesting decision point for the black market for me, right? All three of these are decent to pick up. Which of these is best for my deck? I mean, again, pause and think about it if you like. I went for the upgrade. In retrospect, I don't think that's right. I think crown is better. Although I did get some use out of the upgrade, for sure. For sure, upgrade was definitely worth that $5 I bought for it, but I think the crown is better. Why? Because I could crown a draw card. That's why. That's the only reason why. Because I could crown a draw card. I can crown my Oracle, for example, draw 4 cards. I can crown the Governor, draw 6 cards. And Crown and Governor could do a lot more things. Crown Governor, border village, province, province. Remodel border village into province is what I'm saying. So yeah, that's why the game took so long. We just, you know, going through the black market, picking up things we like, which is fun in a way, you know. You could just take your time, have no pressure at all. Look at this rip out of the black market. Lurker, an uncontested lurker, that's incredible. Lurker has so many little interactions. It's amazing. And in fact, if there's potion cost cards on the board, Lurker is kind of disgustingly strong. Because you could just Lurker trash a possession, and then use Lurker to gain it out of the trash. You know how difficult it is to buy possession? And this guy could just get it in your deck for 2 players? It's crazy. Anyways, he does get Lurker, and he does get Spicker, Royal Carriage, and Steward here, which should be the Royal Carriage, of course. So yeah, I think now my opponent is starting to have a little bit better options from the black market than I did. My last one was real nice. Real nice. The upgrade and the crown, even the farming village. And I think I chose incorrectly there. I should have been the crown. Also that mountebank I feel still would have done enough work. I don't think the temple, given the state of my opponent's deck at that time, would have been able to clean up fast enough. And like I said, that this would have been a much different game if he had to, you know, deal with mountebanks, junks. As it is, he's pretty thin. He's still playing temple to trash coppers. He only has a couple in play here. I could only assume he has that many in his deck. We both now have farmers markets. Again, one unique, and also it could blow up to give us 4 points, you know, which is useful. So here, look, this is terrible. I don't want any of these cards. I want what he had. I want like the option of Steward or Royal Carriage, or Lurker. Even without the Lurker, he had what, Minstrel Village along with the Lurker. Instead, I have to settle for like Count or Lighthouse or something. I'm gonna take the Lighthouse. No, actually, never mind. That's only second iteration. Yes, we made it through the black market deck a second time. I am gonna pick up the Count here because it could gain duchies rarely. That's the only reason. Buy a mission here because I don't know what to do with my money at this point. I still don't want to buy treasure, although I probably should be buying treasure because my deck is worse, so I should try to make the game as short as possible at this point. I do have a slight points lead, mostly from sniping temples off my opponent, because we both roughly have the same number of unique cards in our deck. So yeah, I should probably be looking to look at this. Look at this black market. Treasury, native village, herald. I had lighthouse, count, and traded post. I mean, come on. I would, you know what I would give to just see something like this? None of these cards are bad. None. None. Not a single one. The herald is so good for my opponent. His actions, his draw, it's very good for him in his thinner deck. So he's gonna pick up the herald naturally. His uncontested lurker comes out. He's gonna put a border village in the bin. No problems doing that, of course. And he's gonna pick up another border village here. So right, he's looking in good shape now, right? Because if you're thin enough to get rid of all your coppers and estates, then you know you don't really need that much draw. He has his hunting grounds, which is a lot, plus his tavern card. What is it? The that guy, Royal Carriage, right? So you could call Royal Carriage on one of his hunting grounds. Ideally, he just has to wait, or you just have to wait until it comes together, and it probably will come together with a village. So again, in the quest for draw, I pick up a ranger here. Butcher isn't bad. Butcher isn't bad to pick up there. But that's an absolute trash black market. Embargo, Merchant Guild, Taxman. I could go back to the bottom of the deck and stay there. I do pick up a third black market. I mean, I think I'm slowly starting to realize the deck isn't going to come together for me in the way it has for my opponent. So I should really be playing a little bit differently, but not really sure how. So here, I don't trash the estate with the temple because I was thinking, okay, it's worth museum points, but really, I should have trashed it, and I could have easily picked up another estate near the end here. I don't know why I held on to that for so long, because I had multiple opportunities to trash that estate. I didn't take them, and it actually came back to haunt me. Ranger out of the black market isn't the greatest because it only works every other turn. And I'm gonna get some use here out of the what is this guy called? The upgrade, so I get a duchy for my temple. I have too many of them in my deck. This oracle is brilliant. It finds me a village when I needed it. If I'd played the Avanto, I probably would not have found that village, because I had the option of playing Oracle or Avanto, and I went for the Oracle to search, and that's why engines with Oracle works, because you could search and find you the things you need when you need them. Black market for me shows me Montebank again, and I have the money to pick it up, but I'm not going to pick it up, especially now. I think is the right decision. Now is just temple food for him. It's 100% just temple food for my opponent, and I don't think it'll hurt him at all. So I have 10 here, and like I said, what I should have been doing is going for provinces, trying to truncate the game here, because I do have the governor, right? And I could go on a mission, governor, remodel whatever village in the province. I'm not terribly lost here. Instead, well, I don't mind picking up the gold there, right? I really don't mind picking up the gold. And I go on a mission just to, you know, have a new shuffle, because I figure the top cards weren't that great for me. As it is, I'm able to trash a couple cards out of my deck with the temple and gain a point, so that's real nice for me. And we have a fresh shuffle here. However, my opponent has pillage, and he's gonna knock this governor out of my hand. So Lurker comes out, gains a border village and another pillage, I believe, for my opponent. And he can also do this nice thing where you play pillage, trash pillage, attack me, then use Lurker to regain the pillage. So he's never out of pillages. And I'm ideally going to be playing with 4 cards, the worst 4 cards in my hand, because he has the choice of what to discard. Yeah, the pillage comes out, knocks the governor out here. Isn't great. Here is crown for my opponent, and I'm just groaning on this side. And here he's gonna pull the nobles out as well. So yeah, that's just tremendous for my opponent. Nobles is even more draw. His deck is in a way better place than mine at this point. So I wanted my deck to behave how his deck is behaving. He's finally drawn everything and he has quite a bit of money. He's picked up two things out of the black market. And I believe he comes up with what, 16? Is this the thing he comes up with 16? Yeah. Crown and spoils and whatnot. And he's just gonna go for double province. Seems very, very strong. Especially knowing that my hand is dead here. I do have the ranger ready to go, but it didn't come with a village, which is terrible. It's very, very unfortunate. I needed that governor to draw me some cards, and maybe I would have found a village. I could have kicked off. So double province for my opponent. I'm not too worried. I could take farming village for the points here, but I'm gonna take a mission instead, looking for, you know, some upgrade tricks, some temple tricks. That's all I could really do, honestly. There's nothing else. Also the pillage, right? I do have a pillage. So yeah, he actually has a dud hand here, dead hand, and I'm gonna take the what's this called? The royal carriage out of his hand. So he doesn't have that on his deck. He can't call it on one of his draw cards. So that should slow him down a good deal. So here, a bunch of villages I am able to find an Avanto, and I'm not gonna trigger the shuffle. It's very, very scary for me to trigger the shuffle with all my villages out of it. So I am just gonna top deck the border village and take my money, play my black market. Yeah, look, this isn't great. This isn't crown, this isn't nobles. I do pick up the ironworks because I have the highway. So highway with the ironworks could get me like a duchy, for example, or some 5 course, a pillage. And I do see the lighthouse, which I take. Again, maybe I should have been just going for provinces at that point. Here, I am able to find the ranger with, what's this called, a village. So I am gonna draw, but it is my my mission turn. So I'm kind of limited with what I could do. I do gain a duchy with the ironworks just for draw, and what I do here is a mistake. I believe I turn in my only gold for a province with the governor. I think that's a bit too soon. I should have waited a little bit, and even so, I don't need to remodel the gold to get province. I have a bunch of border villages in the deck. I mean, I need the actions, of course, but really I should have made this play a lot later into the game. I feel better is remodeling silver into duchy, honestly, I believe. So mission also prevents me from buying things from the black market, so I just choose not to play it here. If I had remembered the order of the black market, I maybe might have played it for tactical reasons, just to force my opponent to turn up a bad set of 3, but I don't have that acumen. So my opponent has a dead turn actually, and takes a mission, does nothing. Their mission turns, they're quite limited. I'm surprised he actually took the mission. There's not much he could do, aside from play temple and pillage perhaps. I'm not sure if he has a pillage in his deck at this point, but I have a bit more options. I have the upgrade, of course. There's the extra option that I have, and the count, So I do gain a copper here because I ran out of coppers, and copper is with 2 points. There's not a lot of great things in the black market for me here, and again, look, I have 8, right? This is the third time or so I have 8, but I still don't buy province. I don't know why. I really should be doing that. Like, my opponent stalled, right? I should be taking advantage of that and pushing the provinces as well. And I have my governor. My governor is like the one ace in the hole at this point that I have that my opponent doesn't have. So I really feel like I should have been taking provinces. I go for the harem there instead, which is, you know, fine, but it's not provinces, it's not truncating the game. My opponent has a much better deck than me, and I really shouldn't be allowing him to use that repeatedly. Really shouldn't be allowing him to do that. But yeah, that's another misplay, right? I think that's a misplay for me. Like, points in this game I think are definite misplays is me not picking up the crown and me playing the way I did here. Like, now I'm starting to junk up my deck, right? I gained the copper off the count, but I'm not pushing for the end of the game in any way, form or fashion. He pulls Horn again. I don't know why he didn't take Horn plenty. He could so easily crown honor plenty and pick up 2 provinces, like nothing, so easily. Maybe even this too. No, he played the crown on the hunting grounds, but at some point, potentially, he could have done that. That'd have been incredible. 2 provinces just like that. You have no problem fulfilling the requirements to gain province. So here, my opponent does pick up 1 province, and I believe this is where we start duchy dancing. Is it? I don't know, but we do start duchy dancing at some point because I'm still not out of it. I still am up there with him with the points. But yeah, I need to play a little better than I'm doing right now. Right? I need to truncate the game. Hey, I go for the Oracle looking for a village. I don't find the village. I could have been content and just played something like Ranger Pillage, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try to find a village to make better use of my turn, but I don't, and that really kills me, especially because I had to discard an Avanto. There's 0 draw cards in the remaining 15 cards on my deck. It's 0. I can do nothing. I'm very much pinned at this point, and that's terribly unfortunate. Like, if I could at least threaten to have a good turn, maybe I could get province remodeled with governor. If I could threaten to do that at least, you know, it would cause my opponent a lot more headaches than he has here. So here you see the lookup pillage trick. He's just gonna rip things out of the black market for points at this point. Sometimes, but he's gonna keep enough money to pick up double province or so. Here I don't know, he doesn't go for double province. Here I believe here's, yeah, duchies or duchy province or something. Yeah, here's a mission for my opponent. But like I said, I mean, there's no real point for him to pick up mission. What can he do? He could set his royal carriage on the mat again. That is one thing he can do, as well as play temple and pillage to attack me. He hasn't attacked me yet, so I presume he's going to. He does, which is bad, very bad, very bad. Top deck the black market here. Pick up a duchy and I buy a curse. Curse is worth 1 point. Thank you, museum. I'm not really sure how I get out of this situation. I don't think there's anything I can do except hope he stalls. But he isn't stalling at all. He also has Smithy out of the black market, so he has a lot more draw than me out of the black market overall. Here has a real nice choice for him. Any of those is easy to pick up, and it's cheap, right? So he doesn't have to compromise his double province potential in any way. Counterfeit and spoils from the pillage is real nice too. Could pick up that, because he could probably draw it back at this point. Here he goes for what, province and estate. We're just playing around with points at this point. He's just trying to make sure that there's no way I can come from behind and win here. So here 5, I could buy a duchy, but the butcher I believe is a lot better, because if I could get to the reshuffle, then I have 2 aces up my sleeve. I have the governor and the butcher, and both of those can trigger on mission turns. So still not out of it. Like, I'm only, what, 3 points behind right now? And when my opponent pauses like this, it makes me think he, you know, doesn't stall. Or he doesn't go all the way through his deck as he's been doing. He stalled, actually. He plays his pillage, but I have my lighthouse up. Woohoo! So he doesn't get to murk this hand, even though it wouldn't have been that much of a loss. And 9 here. Still not going to pick up the province, I believe, which is, you know, the correct thing. No, he actually, does he go for it? Yeah, he goes for it. He goes for that province and estate. So here, look, I finally get to my reshuffle. So if I could see some of my draw cards, no, I see the estate. That crummy estate which stuck around. So I have no choice at this point. And again here, maybe I should have trashed this estate with the temple, but I don't think there's a point really. I think it's actually worse to do that. So here I have to take the mission to look to try to win the game, and duchy estate for me, so I need to find something like border village with my governor, my butcher, but a lot of them went past in the previous shuffle. Like, things just came in the wrong order. All the wrong villages came, so I don't know if I even have any border villages left. And as it turns out, I forget that I'm on a mission turn here, and I feel so happy. Then I realize because the game doesn't let me buy the last province, I'm on the mission turn. As it turns out, it wouldn't have mattered. My governor and my butcher are nowhere to be found, and my opponent has a good enough turn to buy the last province. So there is the end of that marathon game. Black market can be tricky, and you have to think every single time you play black market. Alright, thanks for